late in the second half to score 2 tries to win that game. So we know, if anything, they are resilient and they will never give up. So Mexico need to play 70 minutes as they've done all tournament and make sure they close off the win if they are to get it. I think this will be a very exciting match today, Felicia.
I do agree with you, Gav. And we have a scrum down here now to Mexico. There was a knock on of the line out by Barbados.
Out to Baron. Gutierrez. Just over the head of Gutierrez there.
Barbados chasing up well there to put the pressure on the Mexico team.
That's good pressure there from Barbados. Uncharacteristic mistake there from Baron, and another knock on there coming from Mexico. And the pressure that Barbados, the Bajan defense is putting on Mexico, is paying off. So far Barbados have been relentless, and that pressure is just seeing Mexico making some simple mistakes. We haven't seen this from them so far in the tournament.
I think a big part of Barbados' chances rests on the shoulder of their skipper, Conrad Edgar, who's also the number 8 today.
Well, Barbados have some good players in the Caddy brothers, Conrad Edgar. Both teams will need to look at their key players today. Mexico no doubt will be looking to Alejandro Baron at 10 and Diego Gutierrez at 13.
Some very skillful players in the Mexico lineup there today, Gav. They seem to be moving the ball good through the hands in the back line, and also when they do get it wide, their wide players finding a lot of space and breaking a lot of tackles out wide.
Luis Alejandro from Mexico doing it is very dynamic, very explosive. Once the ball is in his hands, he could almost be guaranteed he's going to make something happen.
I think at scrum time, Barbados is going to want to keep the ball a little closer. They're going to try and play a little tighter game before going out wide, considering they may have a slight edge in terms of weight in the pack.
See, first scrum of the game coming here. Oh, sorry, second scrum. Barbados to put in.
I think Barbados are going to want to attack from all their set pieces in the Mexico half and go directly at Mexico at this point.
Number 8 picking up.
That's Conrad Edgar.
Was there a knock on there? No. Advantage playing to, says the referee. Knock on by Barbados. Mexico in possession.
I believe
going forward through Jorge Aceves.
I believe that was a mistimed kick by Jake Caddy that didn't find the boot, so there was a knock on there. And that's why the advantage has come back to Mexico now, and we'll have a scrum just outside the 10-meter mark.
Nothing much in this game so far, nowhere in the very, very early stages. But neither team...
Both teams being very tentative at this point here, not wanting to make any mistakes and concede any early points to the other, knowing that it will cost them later on in the game.
Well, it's all about strategy, it's all about patience, it's all about composure. At the end of a match, 5-0 or 3-0 is still a win.
Now both teams would have seen each other play 2 games earlier in the group stages, so the coaches would have had ample time to work out.
Picked by the Mexican number 8, Santiago Prieto.
As I was saying, they're probably worked out their strategies after seeing these teams play 2 games.
Baron, kick, just charged down there.
Ball is into the hands of the number 13. Ellis Pinder Young, who does well there to take it forward.
Barbados still going forward. And a penalty there against Mexico for not releasing the ball in the tackle. And that's excellent work there from Barbados, capitalizing on the Mexican mistake in the breakdown. Ball going out to Pinder Young, who drives forward. An excellent run, just brought down on the wing by Carlos Salinas. Mexico now taking the ball out. Number 10 driving forward. Barbados still in attack, still in possession.
Opting to go on the blind side here, Barbados number 9.
Still in possession, good work, he held on there in the tackle. Barbados still edging forward, doing the hard work. The number 10 just stepping back inside. Jane Caddy. And Barbados unfortunately failed to capitalize on that attacking passenger play. Mexico with sustained pressure in defense forced the penalty for playing the ball on the ground. And now Alejandro Baron to kick for touch and just take the pressure off Mexico for a bit. That is a poor touch finder there from Baron.
Ball went back by the player feeling it.
Excellent tackle there from Carlos Salinas, but Barbados still going forward through Mikel Walcott.
Barbados showing that they're just as much in this game as the Mexican team, not giving up any easy chances at all. There's a kick over there by the number 9.
Caddy, brother of Jake.
Well fielded there by the Mexican team. And however, this is a better kick now, relieving the pressure for Mexico, bringing us just inside the 10 now of the Barbados territory.
And that was a good passenger play there from Barbados. They worked the ball forward, they got into 22, lost it, got it back and started working again. But as we've seen all tournament, Mexico's defense is resolute, and they work their way back out now. They're just inside the Bajan half.
How important do you think set piece play is going to be at this point, Gavin?
I think set pieces will be very important because both teams seem to be evenly matched in defense. Either team have standout players, so they need to use their set pieces to find that gap in the defense to make something happen. There's a good kick there from Jake Caddy. Good vision, good pressure.
Barbados doing well there to turn over the ball at the last rock.
Nicholas Daniel,
number 12 here.
in the back from the kick. Puts a kick through of his own. Picked up by Carlos Salinas.
Just off the legs there, so there was no knock on.
And here we go. And Salinas is off and running. Gets the ball off to Baron.
Baron unable to hold on to it there. And we come back here for a scrum now to Barbados.
I'd say, Felician, Barbados definitely have Mexico a little unsettled at the moment. For the entire tournament, we have not seen Mexico this much on the back foot.
That's true, Gavin. I think it's because Barbados has done well to win their group without a loss, and they've defeated quite some stiff competition. So I think Mexico not leaving anything to chance here, and they know that Barbados are going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at them today.
Of course, and they need to know that they cannot at all afford to be complacent. They need a big performance here if they are to lift the trophy.
Barbados retaining the ball at scrum time.
To Caddy, back inside to Nicholas Daniel.
There's a nice switch move there between the 10 and 12.
Classic 1-2 switch. Again, Daniel, Caddy again, chip through to Salinas, to Luis Adredondo,
who kicks a touch and brings the game right to the 10-meter line of the Mexican half. The game seemed to be being fought in the middle of the pitch. Not much of the team's play has happened in the 22 of either team. Do you think that if Mexico is able to get down to the Barbados 22 at this point, they'll be able to come away with some points here, Gav?
Well, I think if Mexico gets into 22, they should be able to get some points. They are very clinical, and they take those opportunities well. We have a knock on there in the line out by Mexico. And Barbados puts in a scrum. We have Mikel Walcott just on the Mexican 10-meter line. See a lovely evening here in Trinidad and Tobago, slightly overcast. The pitch is on its third game of the afternoon and holding up quite well. Obviously up to international standard.
See the crowd chanting now, trying to urge on the Mexican team. There are a few supporters here. Some Trinidad supporters also getting behind the team. The scrum's proving to be a bit difficult now. This is the second time this one has reset, and the one before has also been reset. Barbados put in and they retain possession. The number 9 opting to go blind.
Good tackle there from Luis Alejandro. We have a knock-on tackle there by Barbados. Scrum down to Mexico. I think you were right in what you were saying before, Felician. Both teams very cautious in these early stages, not trying to overcommit, not trying to be too flamboyant. Everybody's just sticking to the game plan, basic rugby, taking the ball forward.
I do believe the team that begins to get more comfortable as the game goes on is going to be the victor here today.
Baron, Gutierrez, hands out with 15 joining the line there. Diego Navarro.
Oh, and it's been intercepted by the number.
And it's Caddy going back inside. Oh, Caddy passing ball back inside there to Brown Ryan.
But he was unable to retrieve the ball there, and he knocked it on, so it's going to be a scrum down to Mexico.
Good intercept there from Jake Caddy. Made about 25 meters. Just pushed out by the Mexican defense. Managed to flick the ball back inside to Brown Ryan, who was just unable to hold on. And we have a knock on by Barbados. They see Caddy again. Caddy going wide, beating Gutierrez. Still line. Good tackle coming in. Brown Ryan just unable to hold on.
He's going to regret missing that chance, Gav. They were almost inside the Mexican 5-meter line with that attack.
In Mexico's defense, in Mexico's favor, that was excellent defense there from him coming across.
Mexico ensuring that Barbados don't get a deep foothold into their territory there. They're going to want to gain some territory with the boot here. Ease the pressure and put Barbados onto the back foot.
Andres Rodriguez to point in scrum.
So we have Mike Jones calling it up. Something he's not pleased with there. I think he's speaking to Barbados about their drive before the ball is put in there. As you know, at scrummage time, the under-19s are only allowed to drive a meter, and they cannot drive before the ball comes into the scrum. Ball won by Mexico. Rodriguez. Mike Jones calling it up yet again.
From there, wheeling 45 degrees. Rodriguez to put in again. Still Mexico ball in the scrum. Asians definitely have a bigger pack. Trying to use that muscle.
Mexico's technique has been sound thus far in the scrummage. So we're going to hope that they are able to continue to do this and maintain possession so that they challenge the Barbados team as often as possible. One miss at scrum time could cost them if they allow Barbados with this kind of territory to attack.
Rodriguez out to Baron. Baron kicks for touch. And it's an excellent clearing kick there. Baron bringing play up just inside their half. Barbados ball though. But the pressure at least is off for now in Mexico.
I think with the type of runners that Barbados have in their number 14, Darian Walcott, and the number 11, Brown Ryan, I don't think the pressure is ever off, Gavin. Mexico capitalizing on stealing the ball at the line out here as they go through another phase in the forwards.
That's a good tackle there from the Bajan number 7, John Howard. Ball still wide.
Just lost there. And the number 12, Diego Gutierrez. I think he took his eye off of it for a moment there, Gav.
Well, definitely uncharacteristic of Diego there. He's been immense this tournament. No frills player, in the words of Brent Barry. Baron to Gutierrez. Gutierrez breaking the gain line, drawing two players, and Mexico go wide. Has been their game plan and it has worked for this tournament so far. But Barbados are piling on the pressure. Big tackle coming in there, driving Mexico back, forcing a knock on.
If you were a winger, as a winger slash center as yourself, Gav, in a situation like that, as the Mexico backline making so many uncharacteristic mistakes, what would be going through your mind at this point, Gav?
I think it would be up to the captain and the number 10 to calm their team down. You know, let them know, guys, it's a final, yes, but we don't need to be nervous. We are the favourites. We've won both our games so far in convincing fashion. So we just need to play our game. They can't panic. Sometimes, you know, you have teams coming to... It is a big game, no doubt. They're playing for everything. They're playing for the championship. But these boys just need to not relax, be composed, be disciplined, and play the kind of rugby they've been playing for the entire tournament.
Ball not straight there at the line out for Mexico. So there's going to be a scrum down to Barbados. As we have the scrum now, I'm going to take this time out now to thank some of our sponsors. Phoenix Park, Gas Processors Limited, Steamroller Rugby, Call Fire Insurance, Gillette, the Tire Center, Royal Bank of Canada, Oasis, Regency, Horizons Framing and Decor Limited, and the Toyota Trinidad and Tobago Company. Also supporting this initiative was Lucasade, Degree, Sunday Light Limited, BPTT, and Powerade.
Thank you for that, Felician. And Mikel Walcott playing the scrum for Barbados. Ball back, big number 8, Conrad Edgar taking it forward. Conrad Edgar making some excellent yards there.
Got up quite ahead of
Walcott,
steam there.
Mikel Walcott again. Still Barbados going forward here. And the ball is now with Shane Taylor for Barbados, number 2. Barbados.
The Mexican players just not rolling away there. Mike Jones having to penalize them, giving a penalty to the Barbados team.
And Mexico now very much on the back foot in this game so far.
And it just might be like they will concede some points here, Gav, as Barbados up to kick for the post.
Easton Caddy, fullback, brother Jake Caddy, number 10. He's now going to take the kick, trying to add these 3 points.
We were watching Caddy warm up today, and he was pretty spot on from the tee, Gav. Do you think that a bit of nerves will be coming in at this point?
Might be. I mean, these are one of these kicks either settle your nerves or put you off for the rest of the game. So let's see how he fares. That is a good strike from Caddy. Excellent strike from Caddy, and that's the first points of the game. 3-0 to Barbados.
I'd also like to thank DHL for partnering with NACRA in putting on this tournament. Second time it has been held in our lovely sister isle. It was here last year also.
Baron for the restart. Excellent restart from Baron. Not taken cleanly there by Barbados.
It was
still
not
in possession. It went backwards.
Nice high kick there.
That's excellent pressure there from Barbados.
Barbados are going to feel that they're really in this one. Oh, but there's a lovely break there by the number. Still in the hands of the Mexicans. Number 13 driving forward.
And Mexico now have numbers out wide. Can they capitalize? Number 15, Diego Navarro. Mexico with an excellent passage of play there. Scrappy ball from Barbados. Mexico capitalize. Taking up deep it. Diego Gutierrez taking it to the 5-meter line. Then Mexico with the overlap out wide. Baron out to Diego Navarro for the try.
And just like that, the momentum has swung back into the favor of Mexico.
Well, that's the game of rugby, Felician, you know. You could be in the lead 1 minute and literally next minute go under.
So we have the replay here. Number 13, Gutierrez, taking up the ball strongly, finding one of his forward counterparts to take it on. Ball now going wide.
Baron
To the
out to Navarro for the try.
textbook stuff, Gavin, textbook stuff.
Again, we spoke earlier about how clinical Mexico have been, and that is just basic rugby there. Finishing the try. Baron to add the extras. And he's just pulled it wide. The score now in this game, Mexico 5, Barbados 3.
Still everything to play for here for both teams. Only 2 points between them. Barbados are going on a strike back as soon as possible to ensure that they remain in the game and not want Mexico to start taking it up another notch.
Barbados now need to come back with a big response. They had 2 players down there.
Caddy with the restart.
Oh, that's a good restart from Caddy. He's just locked on there.
I think he felt the pressure from number 7 for Barbados, John Howard.
John Howard seemed to have injured himself with that big hit there.
After having played these games all week, Gav, you think that some of the players are feeling the pressure of the wear and tear of having to play so many games in such a short space of time?
Well, I think so. I mean, in these games, well, it's at underage levels. Some of these are big boys. They hit hard, they work hard. So definitely after the second week, it will have taken a toll on the bodies.
Management of the team will show now coming on in the later passage of the game how well the coaches have prepared them and how well they are able to continue to go on. Will begin to show as we get into the second half. But right now we have a scrum after the knock on by Mexico. It's going to be put into Barbados.
John Howard there, back on his feet, back up ready to go in the scrum. Mikel Walcott to put in.
Yeah. Ball back on Barbados side. It's Conrad Edgar.
Walcott steps inside, lynching from Walcott there. Ball back at the breakdown for Barbados.
Barbados seems set to move the
Caddy
ball wide.
Turns and he's caught by Baron, still in possession. Barbados secure.
His opposite number having his number there, but he did so illegally and not releasing him after making the tackle, and so Barbados have another penalty here.
And Alexander Baron just blown there for not releasing in the tackle. And Iston Caddy steps up to see if he could put his team in the lead with this penalty.
Like I say, Gav, he's been striking. In the warm-up, we were looking at him earlier. He was striking the ball pretty well.
He seems as a very competent kicker, and I think his confidence would be up now as he just scored that 3 points about 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah. From a similar position also, a little more in front of the post, you're going to think that he's a bit more comfortable with this one. Just wide of the post there. So we're going to have a 22 dropout from Mexico. Barbados to receive.
Points Mexico, Barbados 3.
Long high kick down to number 11, for Barbados.
Kick over.
A great chase also. For the
Mark
players.
call there by David Tobias Hernandez.
He taps off and goes to Baron, who slips in the center of the park but regains his footing well. Tries a kick, but it's charged down and it's out into touch of a Mexico player. There's going to be a line out here. Ooh. The Mexican number 8 there pushing the player down. The referee's going to have to separate these players here now, not wanting anything to happen. We have had an incident-free tournament thus far. We hope that Mike Jones can bring this under control and we can resume rugby as soon as possible.
And we see tempers flying high here for this, and this is a passion for the game. I don't think anything malicious, but you can't do that. That's ill discipline. Whether you're trying to protect a teammate or not is unacceptable in the game of rugby. And let's see what the call is here by referee Mike Brown.
He has it spot on there as a penalty for the ill discipline of the Mexican player. He was very fortunate not to see a card here. Mike Jones doing well not to send them off at this point, not wanting to give an advantage unnecessarily to the other team.
Yeah, it's free-flowing rugby. Young lads, high adrenaline.
Emotions getting the better of them.
Good call there from Mike Jones. Easton Caddy going for touch. And now Barbados have a line out just inside the Mexican 22. Lost though. Out to Baron, who's going for the kick.
And it was a kick against his better side, so he used his left foot there, just bringing them outside to the 22.
Not many yards gained, but still the pressure relieved. Just a bit for Mexico. Barbados still in possession.
And Mexico are going to favor their chances at line out time, seeing that they have stolen at least 3 of the Barbados line out thus far. And those they haven't stolen, they have made sure that Barbados were unable to take them cleanly.
Barbados opting to go long, pays off. Jake Caddy collects, still going forward.
He's going to need some support here to retain possession.
Michael Walcott, Conrad Edgar, driving forward, big runner. Walcott again in the back. Big number 2 moving forward. Jake Caddy. Barbados still in possession. Walcott. Ball just lost, can't secure.
Still on the Barbados side, however. And Mexico penalized again.
And Mexico have had a string of penalties, about 3 or 4 in the past 10-12 minutes in their half.
As we come down, there's 7 more minutes to go, and we have a line out here now to Barbados, just on the 5 of the Mexican team. Mexico gonna want to contest here to stop the chances of the Barbados team setting up any attack move or strike move.
And this is a good attacking position for Barbados here. They go for a short line out. Throwing long. Picked up by Jake Caddy. Conrad Edgar driving forward. Conrad is down by 4 players.
Strong
Michael Walcott.
Conrad Edgar.
Seen going the other way. 6 out. Yidel Suro.
Oh, and Mexico have turned over the ball here.
And that's a good take from Easton Caddy. Not a good pass. Number 11 for Barbados going forward, gets the ball off. Ellis Pinder-Young. Barbados still in possession. Ellis Pinder-Young finally brought down. Still inside the Mexico 22. Michael Walcott spinning the ball out. It's gone backwards. Nicholas Daniel, number 12 for Barbados, driving forward. Barbados still in possession. Easton Caddy to take to Jake Caddy. Jinx
does well to stay on his feet here.
And Brian Brown still in possession, still inside, brings the ball back inside. Mexico still in, Barbados still in possession.
Ooh.
Michael Walcott. And the ball is just knocked on there by John Howard.
Mexico just weathering the storm there, and at the end, they come out with a scrum down after the Barbados knock on.
It's good passage of play from Barbados. Not many yards gained, but good positive play. Moving the ball back and forth the pitch. Getting the big runners going forward, getting it all wide, and working hard.
A number of players down now from the Barbados team. I think the physicality of the Mexico team is showing now, as they are committing all into the tackle situation, and Barbados coming out worse for wear. So as we come back now, it's going to be scrum down to Mexico inside the 22. Alejandro Barron setting very deep now. He's going to look to use his boot again to try and clear their area and gain some very hard-earned yards.
Barbados need to pressure this kick, try and keep Mexico pinned back. We see, as you said before, the question was asked, if Mexico gets into the Bajan 22, will they score? They got into 22 and they scored. So Barbados need to try and keep Mexico out of their half and furthermore out of their 22, which they have been doing well so far.
Ball put in now to Mexico. They've won the scrum. The number 9 for Barbados is going to have to watch here, Mikhail Walcott. And the kick from Barron bringing us just outside the 10-meter mark of the Mexican half, but it's going to be a line out to Barbados.
We need to look at one or two things that happen here. How much of this pressure can Mexico absorb, and how much of the pressure can Barbados exit? There will be a breaking point somewhere along the line. And that's a good take from Barbados, securing the line out. More forming more, driving forward. Number 7, John Howard, the caddy. Barbados still in possession. Mikhail Walcott out to Nicholas Daniel, who puts a chip behind, and it's off the foot of the Mexican fullback, Diego Navarro, who just manages to get the clearance kick away, but Barbados still in the Mexican 22. And this is good sustained pressure from Barbados, Felician.
Yeah, Barbados are going to enjoy this possession here because they are now moving the ball from right to left as opposed to from left to right. So they're going to be using their stronger hand for most players. So you're going to see a strike move definitely at this point because it's going to be easier for them. Oh, but Mexico has other plans for this line out, and they've stolen it. It's a nice step through.
And Andres Rodriguez, scrum half for Mexico, managed to get through the line. He's brought play just up to the halfway line. Mexico now doing what they do best, working hard, the forwards going, earning the hard yards. Out to Barron. Barron was showing that vision of his, and that's an excellent kick there from Barron for territory.
Exploiting the space behind Darian Walcott.
See, just like that, in the space of a minute, Mexico are now in the Bajan 22. Barbados still in possession though.
However, we know how dangerous Mexico have been at line-out time. So Barbados are going to want to tighten things up here and not give Mexico possession.
I think Barron has realized this, and he has good vision when it comes to tactical kicking. So he's going to keep putting those balls out because he has confidence in his forwards to win that ball back. And it seems like it's Mikhail Walcott, the number 9 for Barbados, throwing in.
Ooh.
And they've secured possession. Scrappy, but they've secured possession, Barbados. And we have a penalty coming in, and it seems that the ref is going to his pocket.
Just explaining to the player here that once the whistle is blown and the penalty has been signaled.
Yellow card.
Yep. For the repeated infringement there by Mexico.